What's up, Bike Life gang? Welcome to another video. Today is not gonna be my regular type of vlog. It's basically just gonna be a complaining vlog, so if you're not up for that and you prefer good vibes, you should click off right now. Otherwise you can hear me out after the intro. So I'm on my way into the city. I'm about to buy a gift for my girlfriend, but that's not what we're going to talk about. Essentially what I wanted to do is let all of you guys know what's going on, because those of you who watched my video last week know that I should not be sitting on the 390 Duke anymore. Because this was just a bike KTM gave me while my bike is at the shop. Okay, we're back, guys. Sorry for the interruption, but yeah, so I should be back on my 690 already, but I'm still sitting on the 390, which, I mean, life could be worse. It's better to be on this brand new 390 than to be on no bike. But of course I want my own bike back, and that's really what I want to talk about today, is how I feel about the situation with my 690, because that's been at the shop for over a week now, and it will probably stay there for a little longer, at least another week, but most likely even longer, and that's really disappointing. And I know a lot of you guys ride the 690 as well. That's probably why you're following my channel. And I just wanted to have a bit of a talk with you guys about what happened with my bike now. And I'm actually quite curious, guys. Let me know in the comments, is this something that is like the exception and I'm the only one? I just really got unlucky, or is this something that you guys think is normal? Because yeah, where should I even start? Let me break it down for you guys from the start, so I can really explain why I'm kind of upset at this point. When I got the 690, which was about a year ago, brand new, straight out of the store, 2020 model, I took it home with a trailer because I didn't let them register it. I registered it myself. And before even registering it, I of course went up and down my street where I live just to try it out. And I am not exaggerating, I'm not joking. The first time I rode down that road, which is, I would say, roughly 500 meters long, I didn't even get to the end of the road before the clutch broke. So we all know that issue of the 690, that it has problems with the I actually don't know the correct term in English. Again, I think it's the clutch pump, or maybe it's the clutch cylinder, I'm not sure. But yeah, that thing just keeps breaking on the 690s, and mine broke literally the first minute of riding it. So that was a shite experience, of course, when you just spend a bunch of money on a brand new bike and you're excited for it, and then that happens. So I immediately took it back to the dealership. They also fixed it right away. It only took them half an hour, which I'm not going to go into the details of why it should take them longer if they do it properly, but those of you who've had the same issue probably know. But yeah, you know, that's not the big deal, because I mean, with any brand or any company or people in general, I don't mind if there are a few fuck-ups, you know. I mean, we all make mistakes, and it can be difficult also for a company to always do everything right. And I have been riding KTMs for many years now, and I never had any issues. So, you know, I'm fine if something goes wrong once, because yeah, sure, it can be difficult, especially with all the issues that came up with Corona and getting parts and etc, etc. Okay, but that aside, obviously kept riding the bike. I, by the way, broken the bike very well, so I really paid attention to not going too fast, not revving it too high until I reached my 1,000 kilometers. And actually up until then everything was fine as well. I didn't have any more issues. I did the service, and right after the service I went on a trip to Italy, into the Alps, and the bike ran great actually for the entire trip, like I expected it would, because it was a brand new bike. So I did the trip, and then as I came back from that trip, which was 8 days, 3,000 kilometers, so I had around 4,000 total on the bike afterwards, my front brake started to squeak, and it got worse and worse, and it got like obnoxiously loud sometimes at the lights. And you know, I was wondering what was going on, so I went to the dealership and I asked them, and I said, hey guys, like, this is really kind of, it's fine if it, you know, makes a bit of noise, but this is like really loud. And on top of that, I never had that problem with any of my KTMs before, like, and I treated them much worse than I'm treating the 690 now. So like, why is this? And the answer was, yeah, you know, it's the humidity, it will probably go away, it's because we've had such big changes in temperature these days. So I was like, okay, I mean, they're the mechanics, they know this, and I'm not, you know, probably they actually thought that was the case, but it clearly wasn't, because yeah, just when I kept riding, it just got worse and worse, and eventually I started noticing that the front brake was losing pressure as well. So I was like, okay, this is really strange now. Ooh. nice Porsche. Shit, that's nice. Yeah, I thought that was strange that it was also losing pressure now, so I started to take a closer look at the brake again, and what I noticed was that the reservoir, the one that you see here, is very similar. You can actually see through that. On mine, it was just pitch black. And then I checked the back brake, same thing, pitch black, and it's a new bike, you know. And again, I never, like with my older bikes, with the EXCs, I took them to the service and that was it, and I never had any issues. And this is a new bike and it's looking like absolute shite. So I decided to go to the dealership, of course, and ask them what's going on. So that's exactly what I did, and they said, oh, yeah, so that your brake fluid is black, that's actually kind of normal. We get that a lot with the 690s, and that has to do with the brake fluid just kind of getting old, because, you know, it's 2020 model. I bought it in 2021, so they said it's 2 years old already, the fluid, so that would be normal. And I was already thinking to myself, like, okay, that for sure sounds strange again, because again, I never had that before. But okay, we set up an appointment to change the brake fluid and then also do the 10,000 kilometer service, because that's what they recommended, although I didn't even have 10,000 kilometers. But they said I should do it so that I do it within a year, so I don't lose my warranty. So we set that up, and yeah, I ended up riding a little bit longer before the appointment. And actually, the day before the appointment, my front brake completely lost pressure, and I just basically couldn't use the front brake anymore. So I kept pushing and like trying to put pressure on it, and that worked enough so that I could ride it to the shop. And that's what I did, and I gave it to them, and I asked them again, like, guys, how, like, this is not just bad brake fluid, there's must be more going on. And so I spoke to another mechanic, and he then said, yeah, actually, you know, what my colleague said is right. It's normal that these fluids, they don't last that long. He was looking at my brake, like at the level of my brake fluids, and he said, you know, they're already super low, so you really couldn't have kept riding with them much longer, and probably that would be the issue. But he also said the fact that they're black, that would be another reason. That's something that he would have a lot with KTM's newer bikes, and he said he thinks, and that's his theory, that the fluid becomes black from the hoses on the bike, so the hoses that the fluid runs through. Because he said when he refills, or you know, puts in a new fluid, then very often after a couple of weeks it's completely black again, but that doesn't indicate that it's actually old. And I'm like, what, like, what, guys, you can't. They told me I have to pay for the change of the brake fluid, and they want me to pay for it, although it's like your fault that I can't tell if it's in good condition or not, you know. But by the way, I don't want to blame the dealership or the mechanics themselves, because they were all very nice, but something must be going on. Come on, KTM, like, get your shite together. You are known for really high-end quality, and that's all you gave me these last years, and now you're suddenly disappointing me with these little things that are just, yeah, it's a bit annoying. And but the story really doesn't end there. So I left the bike there, and they said it was gonna be done the same day, because it was the appointment, so they had planned for it. And so I was like, great, okay, then it's not that big of a deal, at least we get it fixed quickly. I mean, it costs way too much again, but that's kind of what you got to live with when you get yourself a motorcycle. So okay, and I get a call that afternoon, and they said, hey, we're really sorry, actually your front brake is completely fucked. The cylinder of the front brake broke. And that's just like, so it's not just the clutch cylinder that breaks, it's also for the front brake, it's the same issue or what. And that's just so disappointing. So then they said, yeah, we have to order the parts, but they are actually not available right now, so we don't know how long it takes. So it will probably take a week. Yeah, it's been over a week now, and they said it still hasn't even been sent, and there's nothing they can do. We just need to wait. So I don't know how long it will take. And tunnel coming up. I hope you guys can still see well in the tunnel. But yeah, so the bike will still be in the shop for a while, but then it got even worse, because I got a call the next day, and they said, hey, you changed the air filter box of your 690, because I actually put the Powerparts air filter, what's it called, like the lid. There are different lids that you can put on, and I put the Powerparts one on there. And they said, yeah, when you put it on, you screwed the screws in too tight, and that broke the entire air filter box. There are 2 screws, and they said because I screwed those 2 screws too tight, the entire air filter box broke, and that meant the bike wasn't getting the correct air, the correct amount of air, and that would be dangerous for the engine, so we have to replace the entire air filter box. That thing is a plastic canister essentially, and it's another 150 euros for me to pay. And it's like, what's going on? Come on, guys. Like, maybe some of you know, please let me know in the comments. Like, is it maybe because of Corona that it's difficult to order the quality parts, or like, I'm just not used to this. I'm used to KTM being the type of bike that you can just throw anything at it and it will always keep going. I mean, with my EXCs, I on my 125 back in the day, I used to go to school on that. I used to ride enduro with that. I literally threw it down hills and it would flip upside down, and you'd pick it up and it would just keep going. And you know, with the now I'm riding a street bike and I just have issues all the time. So yeah, I don't know what it is. So that's my rant, guys. I hope it's not too negative and it doesn't ruin your day. Certainly did ruin my day when I heard the bad news. But yeah, that's the updates. I'll keep you guys in the loop. Once I hear more about it, I hope that I get it back soon, and then more content will follow. So yeah, sorry for the yeah, kind of being off schedule with my posts lately, but that's, now you know why. And yeah, see you guys in the next vlog. Stay tuned and peace.